Hey, how's it going? This is Augustus from Ask a Wise Guy, and I'm about to get wise with you. Now, right now it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I'm driving with my mom. Say hey, Mom.
Hello.
And, this is, I have something, good for you guys to hear, something that everyone should really think about, But at the end of the day, I'm lounging, so as you're listening to this, just lounge, and no pen and pad will really be needed. But I wanted to speak with you guys about, this is men and women alike, but are you appreciating the women in your life? Are you appreciating the women in your life? It's as simple as this. If there's any women in your life, you have a shortcut. It may be hard to see this, because how things are today. But to tell you the truth, the season, how things are today, that really doesn't matter in how amazing the women are that are in your life. If you think about it, as a man today, I could truly say that my life was ran by women. My father, he wasn't there for me, and so my mom, she picked up that hat too. She wore hers and his, and a majority of my teachers were women. If I had to go to the hospital, get a checkup, there was a nurse that was doing the checkup. And everywhere we go, we have amazing women that's making the world go round. So I just wanted to make this video to, give appreciation, and not just to give appreciation, but to remind us all why we should, give appreciation to our women. And if you're a man listening to this, young man listening to this, just remember, women, the women in your life are important, and if you're a woman listening to this, or a young lady listening to this, listen to this and feel proud, feel good about yourself, and the impact that you make in this world. There's certain things that women can do that us men, we really can't. And it's like this. Us men, we're logical. I'll put it, I'll just get to the point. Us men, we're very logical. Our minds are logical based, knowledge based, right? But women are the only creation on earth that could be in a situation, know nothing about the situation, and say something doesn't feel right about this, and they end up right. Majority, I'm not gonna say all of the time, but if I said all of the time, I wouldn't be off. But a great majority of the time, be right about it. In that sense, if you think about that, women don't really have to pick up books the way that we do to get by. I think that's amazing. I honestly think that's amazing. So imagine a woman that decided to pick up books. See? And this is the main reason why the Lord made Eve, or made women, period, the way that they are. Because the Lord knew that Adam was a logical, knowledge-based person. And he said, you know what? Adam's going to need some assistance. Let me give him assistance with a being, with the creation that has an ability that he's not so keen in. And that's emotion. That's sensing things, that's feeling things, you know. Because it's one thing to be able to know your way through life. See, because you're gonna run into some areas where you don't know everything and you have to learn. But it's another thing to feel and sense your way through life. I think that's amazing. Another amazing thing with women is motherhood. Motherhood is powerful. It's very powerful. It's like this. You have a man that raises a family without a woman, and they're gonna have a lot of guidance. They're gonna have a lot of guidance. They're gonna have a lot of direction. But you have a woman that raises a family without a man, and you have kids that will grow up with a sense of love, period, hands down. Now don't get me wrong, there's dysfunctional mothers out there, don't get me wrong, you know, but on the surface, you know, there's going to be a greater sense of love in that family when they grow up, you know, when they grew up under a mother. If they grew up under a father, it's going to be a lot of logical, you know, a lot of direction, and a lot of controlling, a lot of guardianship, you know, for lack of better words. But with a mother, there's going to be a lot of mothering, nurturing, loving, caring, sharing, things that will be instilled into those kids. And once they get older, they're going to have those qualities. The ones that were raised with a mother and no father will succeed more than those that were raised by a father with no mother. The person or the people that were raised with a mother and no father will succeed more than those that were raised with a father and no mother. It's like this. It's one thing to get into a situation and how can I say it? It's one thing to get into a situation and say, this doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense. But then it's another thing to get into a situation and say, well, what makes sense? Does this make sense? Does that make sense? It's a difference. I know you're probably listening to this and you're saying, Augustus, all right, slow down. That's too much. All right, well, it's like this. Men, we were created to know. We were created to get into situations and use a certain degree, a certain level of pride, and to use that pride to, you know, go out, hunt, you know, use the spear, kill the caribou, come back home and feed the family. That's what we were, you know, built to do. But with the woman, she gets into a situation, she's gonna ask questions. In that sense, she ends up becoming more knowledgeable than the knowledge-based person. Because anyone that asks questions gets answers. Questions are powerful. Questions have power in them. Whoever's asking the most questions has the most power in the room. Whoever's asking the most questions has the most power in the room. So fellas, you know, if you're with your girlfriend, your wife, you know, and you're trying to outsmart her or you're trying to outlogic her, right? But you don't pay attention to the questions she asks. You don't ask her questions. You're gonna lose every time. Because she's asking you questions. She's asking others around you questions. She has the power in that relationship. That's why a lot of women, they you know, beautiful women, they'll get with fellas, right? They'll get with us, and when they're first meeting us, you know, it's on and cracking. But once they're with us and they see us at home, they see how we are, and you know, they start getting turned off because they're starting to see, you know, they're starting to see the reality. You know, they're starting to ask questions. They're starting to get down to the truth. You know, they're starting to see that it was a facade what they seen in the club. This is powerful information if you can really grasp this. But questions have power to it, and that's what gives women that touch. So say if you're a businessman, right? I wouldn't work with a businessman that has a male secretary. I'm sorry. Because a secretary has to be able to pick up a phone, write something down, type something up, put that person on hold, remember what they didn't write down or typed up, you know, write something down from the other person on the other line, then get back to the other person on the first line, and then tell them what the other person just told them. That's a lot of multitasking. I wouldn't want to trust a man that has a man doing that. But a man that has a female secretary, a woman secretary, yeah, I could work with him. If he has multiple female secretaries, I'm going to be impressed. And if he has a team of female secretaries, I just might look up an application and see how I can work at his company. This is power. This is powerful knowledge here. This is what makes women the backbone of a home. There's certain things that the man just can't do, and you don't want to trust a man to do in a home, you know. It's like I have friends that I could trust with $1 million, but I can't trust them with my favorite car. Mind you, my favorite car might not cost $1 million. It might not cost $250,000. But I can't trust them with it. Because I know there's going to be some rubber being burned. There's going to be some, maybe, you know, if they don't know how to shift right, there's going to be some transmission issues. Yeah, I don't want to trust them with that. That $1 million, oh yeah, it'll be locked away, it'll be good. That's with certain friends, right? So it's the same thing in a household. There's certain things that you don't want to trust a man with. You need the woman there. And that's the power of women. That's the beauty of women, you know? I honestly think that, you know, the whole purpose of beauty with women is not only to attract, but to symbolize the divine nature that they have. Because women, they have a more spiritual nature than us men do. Let's face it, emotions, that's a spiritual thing. You know, I've heard of stories where a grandmother seen her grandchild under a car in an accident, and her emotions gave her the adrenaline to pick the car up and get her grandbaby out of the car, out from under the car. How many of you know that's a spiritual thing? That's a spiritual occurrence right there. The emotional realm is a spiritual realm. And I believe that women, because they're more spiritual, I believe that the Lord made it his goal to make women more beautiful than men, more attractive, more easy to look at than men, and yeah, more formed, more shaped, right? Because that's to symbolize their spiritual nature. It's symbolic. You know, it's physical beauty and visual beauty that represents their emotional beauty. Man, fellas, if you're listening to this, understand that within your wife. Understand that within your girlfriend. Understand that within your daughter, so that you know how to instill the right guidance into them, and you could be the father, the emperor of a right standing cycle. And ladies, you know, with everything that I'm saying, you probably already, you know, enjoying what I'm saying already. Because this is, I mean, if you're catching this is some beautiful stuff here. This is very powerful, ladies. And, you know, just understand, you're beautiful because you have a beautiful nature, a more beautiful nature than us. You know, it's easy to see just with kids. You compare the kids. You see a bunch of young boys together, and they're punching each other, they're socking each other, they're slapping each other, they're saying mine, taking stuff from each other, right? Making monkey sounds, swinging on monkey bars, right? Animal-like, you know, behavior, right? But you get with the little girls, and you see them giving to each other. They're talking, they're singing, they're dancing, they're laughing. It's more of a divine nature in the female race. You guys are beautiful. You guys are amazing, and keep it up. I went over about a couple minutes over, but you know, the appreciation of women. Fellas, appreciate your women. Women, appreciate yourselves. Love you guys. Take care. Stay wise.